Now on News 12, a funeral held by the NYPD for the twin babies found dead behind a Bronx building. This as the search continues to find the people responsible and bring them to justice. Plus, you may have seen them. Electronic scooters are taking over the streets, but are they really worth the risk? We'll have those details. And all city-run vaccine clinics are now giving out booster shots. Are you eligible for those booster shots? We'll have the details to let you know if you are. Those stories and more as News 12 starts right now. Good afternoon, everyone, and thanks for joining us here on News 12 and News12.com on this Saturday. I'm Dave Roush. We'll get to those top stories in just a moment, but first, let's get a check of our hyper-local weather forecast with meteorologist Kiana. Kiana, looking like a nice start to the weekend so far.
Absolutely. First half of the weekend looks good. The second half will look just as good as well in a couple minutes.
Thank you. And remember, you can download our free News 12 app for up-to-the-minute alerts right on your smartphone or your tablet. And we have some breaking news that has just come into our newsroom. A surprising reversal from a federal appeals court regarding a lawsuit to stop the vaccine mandate for New York City school teachers. News 12's Cecilia Hua has more on the change and why it may only be a temporary one.
Yeah, the Department of Education sent an email to all their staff this morning saying that the vaccine mandate will be placed on a temporary hold. A group of teachers, 12.
And we got a statement from the Department of Education that says, in part, we are confident that our vaccine mandate will continue to be upheld once all the facts have been presented, because that is the level of protection our students and staff deserve. That statement went on to read, our current vax or test mandate remains in effect, and we're seeking speedy resolution by the circuit court next week. Over 82% of DOE employees have been vaccinated, and we continue to urge all employees to get their shot by September 27th. And we now turn to a very somber story out of Allerton. Twin infants laid to rest by the 44th precinct after they were found beaten to death outside of a Bronx apartment. The two boys abandoned with no known family, and the NYPD treating them as their own. News 12's Faith Graham tells us about the efforts to bring those actors to justice. Turning back now to more on the city's latest efforts to stop the spread of COVID-19, you can officially roll up your sleeve and get a COVID booster shot in the city, but only if you are eligible. All this after the FDA gave the green light as well. All city-run vaccine clinics are now giving out booster shots of Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine following a recommendation from the CDC and the FDA. You can also walk into a CVS pharmacy if you're eligible to get that booster shot. It is only available to people who have gotten the Pfizer vaccine before and only if it's been 6 months since your second dose. Now, eligible New Yorkers must be 65 or older or be age 50 to 64 with an underlying medical condition. Health officials say they're still working with Moderna and Johnson & Johnson on boosters for their shots. And schools that do not have a universal mask mandate are 3.5 times more likely to experience a COVID-19 outbreak. This, according to a series of studies based in Arizona that was just released by the CDC. They found from mid-July through August, there were 191 COVID outbreaks in our schools. Now, those with no masking requirements had 59% of the outbreaks compared to 8% in schools with a mask mandate. Outside the classroom, the research shows COVID-19 case rates among children were higher in counties with schools that did not require masks. Again, that study was in Arizona. Now, this week on Power and Politics, we're taking a closer look at some of the vaccine and mask mandates that have been implemented recently right here in our city and state. Assemblymember Carines Reyes says is one of several elected officials that we asked to weigh in on the subject this week.
We have been able to eradicate many viruses because
we'll also hear from other local elected officials on how COVID vaccine mandates have impacted our small businesses like local restaurants and our schools. Be sure to catch Power and Politics this Sunday morning at 11:30 only on News 12. Turning now to the search for answers in the Gabby Petito case. Florida police plan to continue to search this weekend for her fiance, Brian Laundrie. This just 2 days after federal authorities issued an arrest warrant for him. The indictment alleging Laundrie had intent to defraud for using a debit card and PIN number for accounts that did not belong to him, although they did not specify who those accounts belonged to. It says Laundrie racked up more than $1,000 in charges between August 30th and September 1st. News 12's Kevin Vesey spoke to a retired NYPD lieutenant commander about those charges.
They issue a warrant for ironically.
Authorities in Florida are scouring the 25,000-acre Carlton Reserve for Laundrie using ATVs, K-9 units, and dive teams. And of course, be sure to stay with News 12 as we continue to bring you the latest information in this case as it comes into our newsroom. Be sure to stick with us here on 12, on air, online, and on our free News 12 app. Happening today, a mural will be unveiled in Brooklyn to honor actor Michael K. Williams. It'll be placed outside of Moe's Bar and Lounge on Lafayette Avenue in Fort Greene. This just one day after the medical examiner ruled that Williams' death earlier this month was caused by an accidental overdose of a mixture of fentanyl, heroin, and cocaine. Also happening today, the 2021 Global Citizen Festival kicks off in Central Park. Global Citizen is an organization that aims to end extreme poverty in the world by the year 2030. Today, artists, activists, and advocacy organizations are coming together to raise awareness and try to spark global change. Among the performers for the 24-hour music festival are Ed Sheeran, Elton John, Billie Eilish, Stevie Wonder, Shawn Mendes, BTS, and more. And Sunday is the annual Stephen Siller Tunnel to Towers run. Every year it commemorates the Siller's run from the Hugh Carey Tunnel to the World Trade Center site to help out on 9/11. The MTA is warning drivers in the area to be aware of closures of various roads in the area for the run. October 1st is just a few days away, which means it's almost time for Halloween. Between the costumes, candy, and decorations, Americans are expected to spend about $10 billion. The National Retail Federation predicts that $3.3 million will be spent on costumes alone. Now, this also includes costumes for your pets. On average, we're expected to spend about $100 each on Halloween-related items. Do you have your costume yet?
Get your local news.
Welcome back to News 12. I'm Dave Roush. 3,000 electronic scooters are now taking to the streets of our city in the Bronx as the city continues its e-scooter pilot program, but some Bronxites aren't so happy about it. Some report seeing scooters blocking driveways, lying along the highway, blocking crosswalks, and even just knocked over. This leading many to feel the scooters are dangerous. Roxanne Delgado, the founder of Friends of Pelham Parkway, says the program should just be done away with. She says that they're actually causing more harm than good.
It's been a disaster for this community. It hasn't been an amenity, but in fact it's been quite harmful to our community.
Scooters are run by companies like Lime, Bird, and Veo. Lime and Veo assuring us that those who leave scooters in the wrong places are at risk of getting their accounts suspended. They also suggest Bronxites reach out to the company directly if they find problems. The Brooklyn community coming together to help Haitian migrants. This after images surfaced of thousands of Haitians seeking asylum were greeted by border agents using aggressive force to deter them from coming in. Local organizers in Flatbush say migrants need to be put up in shelters and not turned away. Little Haiti Brooklyn is accepting monetary donations, which can be dropped off at the Flatbush YMCA. The United States Coast Guard says it intercepted 260 Haitian migrants this week. One group of 77 people was found Friday morning about 20 miles south of Cuba. Wednesday, another 183 people were found on a 55-foot sailing freighter off the coast of Cap du Mall, Haiti. Both groups were returned to Haiti by the U.S. Coast Guard. Now, no one was hurt. The Coast Guard says both vessels were destroyed due to what they call hazard of navigation. And if you're hitting the road, we are trying to help you save some cash. News 12 is on pump patrol this fall. So where's the cheapest gas around right now? Well, according to GasBuddy.com, you can get a gallon of regular for $2.99. That's at the Sonomax on Greenpoint Avenue in Brooklyn. If you find it cheaper anywhere else, we want to know. Just hover your phone camera over the QR code right at the bottom of your screen. That will take you to our website where you can submit the gas prices in your neighborhood. FEMA says it will move forward with flood insurance changes set to take effect on October 1st. The revamp to the National Flood Insurance Program comes as climate change increases the threat of flooding events across the country. When the changes take effect, more than 3/4 of existing policyholders across the country will see those flood insurance prices go up. The changes come after a series of devastating flood events this summer, which killed dozens of people and caused billions of dollars in damages all the way from Louisiana to Tennessee and, as you know, right here in New York City. Well, fall is now here, and that means the leaves are going to start changing. If you're looking forward to getting the best glimpse of fall foliage around the tri-state, we have you covered. News 12 meteorologist Mike Rizzo is here now with a breakdown of what you need to know. Mike.
Hello, everybody.
All right, Mike, and before you grab your pumpkin spice latte for fall, we have a little taste of summer this weekend, Kiana Lewis, right?
Yes, a little bit today and tomorrow. Those temperatures peaking into the upper 70s.
Move over Ant-Man. Scientists have created the smallest ever man-made object that can fly. Northwestern University engineers say this is a winged microchip named the Microflyer. Now, the chip is about the size of a grain of sand and is built to use wind to fly. Now, it spins like a helicopter through the air, and it is also biodegradable. They say the Microflyer can be packed with miniaturized technology, including sensors, memory data, and yes, even antenna for wireless communication. There's lots of spooky excitement building in southern New England as pre-production is underway for the movie Hocus Pocus 2. The plot is reportedly similar to the original dark comedy, except this time 3 young women instead of a teenaged boy inadvertently reawaken the Sanderson sisters on Halloween, again being played by Bette Midler, Sarah Jessica Parker, and Kathy Najimy. And time now for another check of the weather with meteorologist Kiana Lewis. And how's the 10-day looking?
10-day looks good. I will say that there's 2 days on there that we could see some wet weather, but it doesn't